And now, Six Sports presents the Dean Trailways Fifth Quarter.
Week 4 of the high school football season is in the books, and we had a trophy on the line in our big game of the week. Thanks for tuning in to the Dean Trailways Fifth Quarter. I'm Ian Kress.
And I'm Tyler Driesinga. Back in 2021, Grand Legend Holt came up with the traveling trophy called the Jack in honor of Jack Rarick, who coached at both schools and passed away in 2020. That trophy was on the line. This was also homecoming at Holt. Congratulations to the King and Queen for the class of 2026. Holt led 17-10 at the break, grows the lead early in the third. Ethan Melville hits Michael Amory wide open, and he takes it in for the score, 24-10, Holt. But from that point on, Grand Ledge flipped a switch. Just 3 minutes later, Nick Terranova rolls out, hits Coleman Van Fossen in the back of the end zone. Then Anthony Baker caps off the next Comet drive with a 1-yard rushing touchdown, and Grand Ledge is down just 24-22 with about 10 minutes to play. Holt looking to recapture momentum, but instead the pass is picked off by Mason Myers, and he's got a room to run. He's finally brought down inside the Ram 10-yard line. A huge play for the Comet defense. The offense cashes in just moments later. It's Baker again, cutting up field and crossing the goal line. Grand Ledge takes a 30-24 lead, and the defense would hold from there. Grand Ledge scores 20 unanswered points in the second half to win 30-24. Keeping the Jack in Comet Country for another year.
The resilience when our backs were definitely up against it. Great job of overcoming adversity. You know, we had some turnovers, but the guys picked each other up tonight. Really proud of them.
You know, we have a saying name. It's called Scott. You know, it's the state champions of toughness. And that's what we want to be. Against every team, we want to be the tougher team, faster team, smarter team.
That's what we do. That's what we do. Come on.
Staying in the CAAC Blue, East Lansing was taking on Okemos. EL was in search of its first win of the season and led 3-0 after the first quarter. Then in the second quarter, Baylor Shahansky runs it in from 6 yards out and puts the Trojans up by 10. Just before halftime now, Shahansky was a man on a mission. He's going to run wild through the Okemos defense, finding his way to the end zone. East Lansing led 16-0 at halftime. The Wolves, though, came out feasting. How about Blake Burke finding Atticus Joy in the end zone? This is the first time Okemos has scored against East Lansing since 2018, and these two have played every year since. The Wolves weren't satisfied. They got the onside kick, and then they scored in a hurry. Burke finds Nathan Precise for another Okemos TD. We now have a 3-point game. East Lansing, though, would take care of business the rest of the way. Shahansky runs in his third touchdown of the game. East Lansing takes down Okemos 22-13 to secure its first victory of the season. Well, DeWitt had a road game tonight in the state of Ohio. The Panthers were taking on Galloway Westland, which is just west of Columbus, and DeWitt is coming back up to the Mitten State with a 38-28 victory.
Nice. And back here in the Mitten State, the CAAC Red is competitive at the top. And for more on the conference, we bring in artists Sherry McBroom and Kara Adams.
Yeah, guys, to start, St. John's took down Lansing Eastern and improved to 4-0 on the season. And another team hoping to stay unbeaten was Williamston. They welcomed the Fowlerville Gladiators to town.
Yeah, that's right, Kara. The Hornets haven't lost to Fowlerville since 2019, and we're seeking their 6th straight win over them tonight. Homecoming night in Williamston, and the Hornets were buzzing as they took on that team of Fowlerville. First quarter, Fowlerville's Sam Schrader back to pass, throws it to his left, but it's picked off by Hunter Rowland of Williamston to give it back to the Hornets. Now, second quarter, Caleb Nielsen going to drop back, and he's going to pass to the wide open Thomas Pratt, who scores the touchdown. Williamston up 21-0. In the third, Joseph Smith going to get the handoff, and he's in for the short yard touchdown, and the Hornets are just moving to the beat of their own drum, 28-0. And just for good measure, Smith is in again for another tutty as Williamston dominates with a 35-0 win over Fowlerville on homecoming.
Great respect for Fowlerville and their football program. I mean, they're tough kids and they play hard, and our kids just executed better and got it done.
We got stuffed last year. It hurt, I'm not going to lie, and that definitely contributed coming into this game. Everyone wanted to win. It's just that chip on our shoulder that we just got to carry out throughout the season.
I mean, to put a 0 up on the board 2 weeks in a row on homecoming in front of everyone. I mean, our bleachers were packed to the brim. There's people pouring out the stadium at this thing. I mean, it feels great.
Our next stop in the CAAC Red takes us to Mason High School. Gary Houghton's group was looking to bounce back after last week's tough loss to Williamston. Into the third quarter right here, Hazlitt leads 7-3. And who else other than Corey Mockery, who catches that sweet pass and gets things going for the Vikings in the second half. He gives them the 14-3 lead. But Mason not going away just yet. Jacob Warren, he takes it in himself. And the Bulldogs cut the deficit to 14-10. And man, did this one come down to the wire here. Third down, Garrett Coote launches it to Connor Rondra, but that ball just slips through his hands. And the Bulldogs decide to go for the field goal. They're set, but Hazlitt calls a timeout. Maybe they're trying to ice the kicker. We'll see. And that did not work. Jacob Ackley converts, and he ties things up. And all of a sudden, we're going to overtime. And Hazlitt, they get the ball first to start things off. Corey Mockery spinning and just finding his way into the end zone once again. And the Vikings score first in overtime. The Kansas commit had 35 carries on the night for 241 yards. And it's Mason's turn now. It's third down right here, and it's intercepted. And the Vikings, they go on to win at 21-14 in OT. And it was one proud Brad Thomas after that game.
It's a special group of young men, and just it's about them. It's our senior leadership. Those guys are taking this group to this point. They said, hey, jump on our back. We're going to get in there. 2 runs in the end zone. The offensive line did a great job defensively, making play after play after play tonight. Just proud of these guys.
We got a really tight bond. Even outside of football, we hang out. We do everything together. So it's like family when we come out here, and it's a different feeling. Like I said last year, it's a different feeling when it's your family.
He looks like the newest Channel 6 reporter right there. Shout out to Corey for a great night. Well, we need to take our first break of the evening, and when we come back, we'll check in on the CAAC White.
Yeah, Lansing Sexton welcomed in Olivet and was hoping for its second straight win.
Plus, coming off its first win in 2 years, Eaton Rapids welcomed in Lakewood for homecoming. That's next on the Dean Trailways Fifth Quarter.
Welcome back. In the CAAC White, Portland grabbed an automatic win tonight as Ionia had to forfeit the game due to lack of healthy players in the program.
As for some other battles in the CAAC White, Olivet traveled to Lansing Sexton as both programs are looking for their second conference win. Olivet was searching for a bounce-back win as Sexton was looking for their second win under new head coach Willie Dillard. Second quarter now, Josh Kleinfeld fakes the handoff, drops back to pass, has to scramble before he finds a wide-open Ty Everett for an Eagles touchdown as Olivet goes up 14-0. Ensuing kickoff to Sexton, Josiah Stewart picks it up. He's going to get shifty, finds the gap, and from there it's a foot race because he could go all the way, and he would on a 75-yard touchdown. Olivet still leads 14-6. And in the third, Olivet's Caleb Frazier gets the handoff, trucks his way in for the 10-yard score as Olivet gets the 34-25 win over Sexton.
Down in Eaton Rapids, the Greyhounds got their first win in 2 years last week and hosted Lakewood tonight. First Lakewood drive, Carter Stewart's got room to run. A huge gain sets up the Vikings inside the 5-yard line by the time he's brought down. And if it ain't broke, don't fix it. The Vikings go back to Stewart, and he just gets in for the touchdown. Lakewood takes the early 7-0 lead. That score would hold until the second quarter. Eaton Rapids' Keegan Gockenauer has plenty of time in the pocket, fires a shot deep down the sideline, hits his man in stride. Braden McGirt, a beautiful touchdown pass to put the Greyhounds on the board. But Lakewood gets the last laugh. The Vikings pick up a road win over Eaton Rapids, 35-13.
Moving to the CAAC Blue, Waverly entered tonight's game looking for their first win of the season at Lansing Everett, but it was all Everett from the start. Senior Javari Funches got the Vikings on the board first as he powered his way into the end zone to get things going offensively. And while the offense did get things going, defense certainly followed up. Isaiah Doables gets credit with the sack right there. Everett, here they are with the ball again. Javari Funches takes it all the way downtown, and he's got a little dance to celebrate that one. Funches went on to break 1,000 yards on the season already after tonight's game. And here's another sweet defensive play. Isaiah Funderburgs gets the one-handed interception grab, and that was the story of the night for the Vikings. Domination on both ends. They shut out Waverly 32-0.
Well, since losing their first game of the season, Fowler has won its last 2 games by an average of 34 points.
Yeah, on the other side of the ball tonight, Perry was still in search of its first win of the season. And what a better time to get it than on homecoming, right? Well, the students in the homecoming court were dressed to the 9 for this CMAC matchup. In the first quarter, the Rambler defense gets the big-time stop. Tiger Whitback and company come up with a big tackle. The Fowler offense would answer back, though. Trevor Spicer on the QB keeper runs in the first score of the game. The Eagles would get down to the goal line on their next drive, and this time it's Colt Nobach running in this short TD, putting Fowler up 2 scores. Then it would be the Fowler defense making some great plays. Check out this snag by Spicer for the interception, uses the one hand to tip it to himself. What a grab. That would set up the offense for yet another short yardage TD. Dalton Thalen this time is going to get in for 6 more points. Fowler takes down Perry 47-0 tonight and improves to 3-1. As for Fowler's rival, Pewamo Westphalia, on the road tonight taking on Langsburg. The Pirates were up 42-0 at halftime. Then the Wolfpack would start the second half with a bang. Quarterback Julian Smith fires a pass over the middle of the field, and Landon Freeman is off to the races. No one's going to catch the junior as he puts Langsburg on the board. PW, though, would have no problem answering back. Luke Nuremberg on the QB run scampers in for another Pirate touchdown. Later in the fourth quarter, the handoff is going to go to Damon Hoon, and he will not be denied. Pewamo Westphalia rolls to a 56-6 victory and is 4-0.
One final stop tonight down in Grass Lake. The Warriors hosting unbeaten Leslie. The Blackhawks get the scoring started early. Evan Dexter takes the handoff and bulldozes his way in from a yard out. They'd add a 2-point conversion and take an 8-0 lead. Then after a Warrior turnover, Jackson Fawcett fires a pass over the middle to Dexter, who's got nothing but green grass in front of him. A 63-yard touchdown, as it was all Blackhawks from the start tonight. In the second quarter, Leslie's up 27-0 and still not done. The Grass Lake pass is going to be picked off by Braden Johnson, and he takes it all the way to the house. A pick 6 put Leslie up 34-0 at the half. They go on to topple Grass Lake 40-22 Leslie is now averaging 40 points a game this season.